Damn, so it happened. It happened. It happened fast too. It happened abruptly, like swiftly. Okay. Now, this is gonna be like a multifaceted conversation, right? This is gonna be one of those conversations to where we gotta really talk about it. We gotta really talk about this because Nick Sirianni, he cutthroat. Not even Nick Sirianni, bro. The NFL was cutthroat. The NFL was absolutely brutal. The NFL is brutal. The NFL is the NFL is cutthroat, man. Uh Nick Sirianni. We just gonna get right into Nick Sirianni, right? I wanna read his statement that he put out. I wanna read his statement. All right. It says, and it reads as follows. I have decided to make a change at offensive coordinator. I met with Kevin today to discuss the difficult decision, as he is a great coach who has my utmost respect. He has been integral in this team's success over the last 5 years. Not only on the field product, but behind the scenes. As a valued leader for our players and organization, I have no doubt he will continue to have a successful coaching career. Ultimately, when we fall short of our goals, that responsibility lies on my shoulders. So here's my thing, right? You fire Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni fires Kevin Patullo. Okay, Nick Sirianni, he's simply the man. He can't call plays. He can't call plays. That's what this boils down to. That's what it boils down to with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni refuses to just call the plays. You the head coach. If you the head coach, dog, call the plays. All right. Nick Sirianni made this decision to fire Kevin Patullo. Now, here's the thing. He fires Kevin Patullo after a horrible season. Who hired Kevin? Nick Sirianni. You look at Brian Johnson in 2023. That didn't work out. Who hired him? Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni hires him. So, again, I'm giving the team a pass this year. I'll give them a pass, but at the same time, Nick Sirianni, bro, you're the leader. You're the leader. You're hiring unproven people. You're hiring unproven commodities. And when they don't pan out, they're scapegoated. Kevin Patullo was the scapegoat. Happy Tuesday. What's up, bro? What's up with you? If you really Goldberg said, if you really think about it, we should all blame our kicker because he missed the extra point. Bro, no, it's I mean like in the grand scheme of things, right? if you look at it, it starts with your head coach. Now, I think Nick Sirianni, I like Nick Sirianni. But this firing, it feels like Kevin Patullo was set up to fail from the very beginning. And not only that, bro, we know Nick Sirianni is behind the scenes helping call the plays. We know Nick Sirianni it's like he's afraid to just take on that role. Nick Sirianni just called plays. Now, Kevin Patullo is fired. Now we got to find another offensive coordinator. We got to find another offensive coordinator. We need to find our guy at offensive coordinator. That's the only thing we're missing. We need to find bro, look at this. Jalen Hurts has had 11 play callers. Okay? You look at 2021. Look at 2020. First it was Doug Peterson. 2021, Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen. 2022, Shane Steichen. 2023, Brian Johnson. 2024, Kellen Moore. 2025, Kevin Patullo. 2026, we're about to have another offensive coordinator. Like, bro, it's like are they trying to sabotage Jalen Hurts? I don't understand this. Every year they giving this man a new coordinator. This is crazy. Sirianni was part of the Shannon, what's up, bro? He says Nick Sirianni was part of the problem too. Yes, that's the thing. Nick Sirianni, as much as I rock with Nick Sirianni, I like him. Nick Sirianni needs to start calling plays, bro. That's it. You're the head coach. If Nick Sirianni calls the plays, guess what? We wouldn't need an offensive coordinator. I would like for Nick Sirianni to just say, you know what? I'm calling the plays. I'm the head coach. I'm going to call the plays. And since he hasn't done that, since he hasn't taken on that role, now we have to continue to fill voids. And not only that, who's going to want this job now? Who's going to want this job as offensive coordinator? Because now you got to think about it. There's no job security. There's no job security if you're an offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Why is there no job security? I'll tell you why. Because every year they're hiring different coordinators. You're either going to do a good enough job and get a promotion, or you're going to do miserably and fail and get fired. That's even with the defensive coordinators, the rotation of defensive coordinators we had coming in and out. We finally find Vic, right? Then the multitude of offensive coordinators that we're hiring. And they're not even qualified. They're not even qualified to be offensive coordinators. And now when it goes bad, who's the scapegoat? The offensive coordinator. Bro, nobody's going who at some point teams are going to look at this. At first it was like an opportunity. Okay, you get the coach. You get to be the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles with all of those weapons. If you succeed, you can have a shot at a head coaching job. But if you fail, it can ruin the trajectory of your coaching career. The Bear says, quote, I consider myself a triple threat. Jalen Hurts, October 30th, said he considers himself a triple threat. Now you're saying he's a fraud ass poser. That's not look, but how could you critique Jalen Hurts at this point when you're looking at this picture right above my head, bro? He's had 11 different coordinators, bro, the last 11 years. How do you, bro? Like, okay, this is what you guys don't understand. Okay, every year you're learning a new playbook. Every year, it's like every year you start over from scratch. Imagine you in your life, right? For the last 11 years, everything you do resets and you got to start over. Bro, after 11 years, like you got to understand with quarterbacks, bro, you can ruin a quarterback's career very easily. Very easily. Let's say you draft a rookie quarterback. Let's say you draft a rookie quarterback and you have no O line, no run game, no offensive line. Right now, the quarterback can't properly progress because he's either in a bad situation. He doesn't have a run game to support him. He doesn't have play action to support him. He doesn't have the offensive coordinator to put the team in the right positions to make plays. Or let's say you don't have an offensive line and your quarterback is constantly getting hit. That messes with your psyche. I don't understand how the fact that Jalen Hurts has been in MVP conversations, won a Super Bowl, run a Super Bowl MVP, having to deal with the uncertainty of knowing who's going to be your play caller and not having any say so in the matter is actually crazy, bro. Like I said, imagine every year you got to reset and learn a completely different playbook. It may take you 4 or 5 months. It may take you until halfway through the season. You may never figure it out. It looked like Jalen Hurts never figured out the playbook. He never figured it out, bro. And can you blame him? I don't know if I could blame Jalen Hurts, man. He's had a different offensive coordinator for the last 11 years. And at some point, the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Because I mean, you would think that, I mean, for the most part, the Philadelphia Eagles are a smart organization and they do make the right decisions most of the time. But if you are constantly putting your quarterback in these type of situations, and I may not get it. He it's not like he's in a horrible situation. He has a great O line. He has weapons. He has Saquon Barkley. He has all of these different things, and on top of that, he's in a franchise that, for the most part, run. It's a well-oiled machine. They run pretty well, so I can't really say he's not in an advantageous situation because he is. He's in a great situation. He's in a great situation. Don't get me wrong. He is in a really good situation, Jalen Hurts. But, but, with all of that going on, Jalen Hurts, that's part of the reason he's been successful. But, bro, it has to stagnate your progression. It has to some point, get to a point to where it'll be too difficult to overcome, bro. He's learning a new playbook every year. You can't get this man some consistency at the play caller position at the very least. And now it's look, A said Jalen Hurts is overrated. Now they saying Eagles got the belt. Yeah, we did get belt. I give you that. We did get belt. But to say Jalen Hurts is overrated when you guys look at this right here is crazy. It's crazy. Nick Sirianni, bro. Nick Sirianni, dog. Nick Sirianni fired. He got rid of Kevin Patullo. Patullo. Okay. This is his homie. This is his homie. Right? And Nick Sirianni, this looks bad, bro, because all you have to do is not hire him in the first place. Everybody knew he wasn't deserving of this. We all knew. We knew we people was I mean it was as early as week 4, and we like, nah, this ain't it. I knew Kevin Patullo wasn't it when they hired him. When I found out they hired Kevin, I'm like, yeah, this season's over. Of course, I had hope, but bro, like, it's common sense. Why would you even hire him? Why hire this man, bro, in the first place? It's fucked up, bro. It's not right. When you hired him knowing he wasn't prepared. I mean, everybody knew it. Jalen Hurts knew it. We all knew this guy was going to be a disaster. Bro, he got fired the 2 days later. Like, bro, why even put this man in that situation? Why even put him in that situation is my thing. Why waste another year knowing this dude's not qualified? Okay, I get it. You want to give him a shot. He's on your coaching staff. Next man up. Okay, let's give him a shot. Let's give him an opportunity. But if you know this dude isn't proven, why? Why? There was no prior knowledge or there was no reason to say, hey, let's promote him. There was no reason. He shouldn't have been fired because he should never have been hired. He should never have been hired. But this is one of those things where, all right, since you're a friend or since we're close, all right, let's give you a shot. Happens all the time in the workplace, right? Look at Bronny James. Look at Bronny James. Bronny James in the NBA, and everybody know he did not. There's other people who deserve that slot. So when you look at it like that, bro, you get it, okay? But it was so apparent. It was plain as day. It was so obvious. It was so obvious that he was not ever qualified to be our offensive coordinator. Like the minute they hired him, bro, that was pretty much saying the season was over when they hired him. Yeah, that's what it is. Nepotism. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, bro. I can never remember that word. Thank you, bro. Nepotism. This is a clear example of nepotism. This dude got hired because he was friends with Nick Sirianni. And because he was on the coaching staff and they were buddy buddy. That's why he got hired. See, in some cases, bro, nepotism is bad. Now you got some familiarity with him, right? You're familiar with who he is. So you got that. You got that going with you, Craig. A say Broncos gonna win it all, man. Look, I ain't even trying to hit none of that. But look, bro, it's nepotism at its finest, dog. Now, if you gonna put him, this was so sketchy about Nick Sirianni, bro. If you gonna get a man a shot, don't fire him. Why not let him run it back? You gave him the opportunity because you believed in him, right? But to save face, to avoid taking any accountability, Nick Sirianni say, all right, we're gonna go ahead and fire him. Whole time. But all while doing this is why the NFL is cutthroat. Nick Sirianni is behind the scenes calling plays. Bro, we know when you calling plays, Nick Sirianni. We know when you got your foot in the cookie jar. We know when you got Nick Sirianni don't be having his hand in the cookie jar. That man have his whole foot stuffed in that bit. Bro, we know you got your hand in the cookie jar, Nick Sirianni. Bro, just own up to it, bro. I promise you. This has to end. Nick Sirianni needs to say, fuck it. I'ma call plays. That's our only solution to this, bro. And if you fail, you fuck around and get fired. Honestly. But he's scared to put his name on it. Don't hide behind your buddy. You hide behind Brian Johnson when you hire him. You hide behind Shane Steichen. Then when it come out that you calling plays, we know you doing it. Right? But you put your friend in the forefront of it. And if it goes bad, we gonna blame him and fire him. No, bro. Honestly, it was unfair to Kevin. It was unfair to Kevin, and I'll tell you why, bro. And I'll keep it about. I'm gonna keep it Pete. I'm gonna be honest. It's unfair to him because you give him a position knowing he wasn't prepared for it, and then all while giving him the position, you in the background calling the shots, calling the plays, and when it don't work out, I'm gonna let my homie take the fall. Like, bro, this is cutthroat, bro. But Nick Sirianni is like, all right, I have to do it. You know somebody got to get fired after us losing in the first round at home. We knew it was coming, right? We knew he was getting fired. We knew he was cooked. But Nick Sirianni, bro, this how you do your buddy? This how you do it, bro? This how you do him? Whole time Nick Sirianni, look, bro, let me explain to you how cold this was, bro. Because we seen it already with Brian Johnson. We did the same thing with Brian Johnson, bro. We've seen this already, so it's not like he did the same thing with Brian Johnson. We knew Brian Johnson, it's the same shit, but we knew Brian Johnson wasn't prepared. Like, who is you, Brian Johnson? Bro, you got no skin in the game. Hire Brian Johnson. The season goes horrible, just like this year. And the players are frustrated because they know the play callers ain't qualified. That's why you see AJ Brown beefing with, sending shots at the offense. That's why you see that, bro. Because the players know, no, this offensive coordinator ain't like that. So it's hard for them to buy in. It's definitely hard for the AJ Brown to buy in, your star player, when he know that this dude ain't ready or qualified. So you hire this man where everybody knows he's not qualified. He's going to get fired. He shouldn't have a position. And then what you do, Nick? You behind the scenes calling the plays anyway. So I'm going to hire this guy to do a job. But all while hiring him, I'm going to be behind the scenes doing the job for him, trying to help him, calling the plays. And if it doesn't work out, he's going to get fired. What? What? I need Nick Sirianni to start calling plays, bro. For real. Just put your name on it, man. Say, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility for this. There's a hole right now in our team, and talent alone will not efficiently void that hole, bro. It's going to always be here. You can plug it, right? But it's going to continue to be a problem, bro. It's going to continue to be a problem. Right? You try to fix it by plugging a hole with paper towel or toilet paper or something, bro. Like, no, bro, it's not. You try to do patchwork, put a band-aid over the issue. We can't. We have to figure it out now. We got to figure it out now because, again, you don't run across a team this talented too often, bro. We got to capitalize, bro. Our Super Bowl window is still open. We got about 2 more years to get another Super Bowl. Okay? But it will not happen if we do not fix this, bro. Nick Sirianni, you tried this before. It didn't work. Okay? You go to the Super Bowl, right? You can't find an offensive coordinator. I get it. Boom. It's later in the season. Most of the prospects for your offensive coordinator position is limited because those guys have already went and got hired from, for other teams. So when you make these deep playoff runs, while you're in the midst of the playoffs, people are looking for head coaches. Looking for offensive coordinators. We're not really doing that because we already got our offensive coordinator, right? So when our season is over, all of the coordinators, the good coordinators, are already have a job. Because that cycle during the playoffs, the hiring and firing of coaches happens during the playoffs. Look at it right now. That's when it happens. So if you already in the playoffs, you're missing that cycle to find somebody, right? So when you're finally on the market to find a coordinator, there's really no good options at that point, right? So if the Eagles make a deep playoff run, bro, this is just crazy, bro. This is a lose-lose situation. There's no way around it. Project, what's the word? Project P, what's going on with you, bro? Look, Nick Sirianni just so cold with it, bro. Like I say, he sacrificed his friend. He sacrificed his friend, bro. It didn't work out, which we all knew. And Kevin gets fired, bro. Now, if that's really your buddy, right, and you believe in him, you say, "Hey, man, he had a. This was just one season. This was just one season. Give him another shot." If that's really your buddy and you believe in him, to fire him lets me know you never believed in him. You gonna fire him after 1 year? With granted, I wanted him gone. I never wanted him to have the job in the first place. So him being fired is like, bro, you should never hired him. But if you gonna make a decision, stand on that decision. If you gonna make a decision and that's your friend and you believe in him, give him another shot. Nick Sirianni said this was Nick Sirianni's move. This was his call to fire him. Bro, you should have never hired him in the first place. Right? And I get it. You want to give your friend a shot. He been with you, right? We've been successful. Why not pull back into? But bro, you got to make sure the person is ready. That's all. You got to make sure they're ready. And if they're not ready, don't give up on them after 1 year. Let's say he's not ready, which he wasn't. We all knew that. But bro, if this your friend and you believed in him, Nick Sirianni, why not give him another shot? Why not say, all right, he can learn? Because he could have learned from, it takes time. It takes time, really. You're not just gonna hop out the gate and be good at something, right? So I want to show Kevin some grace, bro. I want to show him some grace too at the same time. You don't just hop out and be ready to be successful at stuff, bro. I didn't wake up and start YouTube and just had 80,000 subscribers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like everything takes a process. Right? Everything takes a process. That's the thing. So again, I'm not saying he shouldn't have been fired. I'm saying he should have never been hired. You should never hire him. How you gonna hire somebody just to fire him? And it's not like you didn't do this. This hasn't happened before. That just shows you made a bad decision. Right? Nick Sirianni, he needs to take a lot of accountability, to be honest. Fire Sirianni, hire Harbaugh and his staff, and keep Hurts for 1 year. Paul, I don't know about that, boy. Chill. I'm saying bring Nick Sirianni back, bro. Only if he's gonna call plays. Bro, I'm telling you guys, that's it. That's the only way around this. That's the only way around this, bro. I'm telling you, that's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. Like, come on, bro. We know Buddy wasn't ready. But if you're going to give him the shot, give him the shot, bro. If you're going to give him a real opportunity, give him an opportunity, bro. Don't put him on the forefront to be the scapegoat when it don't work out. That's not fair. I'm gonna call a spade, bro. I'm gonna keep it P. Don't say, hey, we're gonna hire you. Yeah, this is my buddy. I believe in him. Ooh, we're gonna rally around him, right? And all as soon as you hire him, you're doing his job for him now. You behind the scenes calling the plays. Maybe you trying to help him, but really shit, you sabotage. Regardless of what you're doing, it ain't working. If you gonna give him the job, let him do what he gotta do. But Nick, that's why it's always difficult when we're hiring these offensive coordinators. We don't know how much of it was Kevin. Kevin could have just been the face of it. All while Nick Sirianni in the background calling the shots, bro. Bro, listen to me. That's why Nick Sirianni hired his buddy. So he can be the face of it. And he knew his homie would take the, all right, give me the shot. Hey, if it work out, to do. If not, we boys. We already won a Super Bowl. We cool. Right? They could already had that established. They had that set up. That's why Nick Sirianni hired him. So he can be behind the scenes calling the plays, bro. And if it don't work out, he gets fired. Nick Sirianni keeps his job. But hopefully during this, bro, they had their eye on another offensive coordinator. Hopefully during this time, right? They kind of, looking at who they want to fill this slot. Do I think they was thinking that far along? No. I'll keep it honest. Because now who's gonna really want this job now? Who's gonna want this job? Don't get me wrong, it's still we still got a lot of pieces, but damn, bro, if you gotta worry about, all right, let's say I come in and I'm the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. I gotta worry about Nick Sirianni trying to call plays behind my back and hide it. And then when it don't work out, I look like it was all on me. No, bro. And that's why he hired these guys. And then when reports come out that he's calling the plays, we know because it looks horrible. But hey, let's keep it honest. Kevin was just a scapegoat, bro. Mr. Patullo was just a scapegoat. Y'all asked for the Niners. We did. We did ask for the Niners, bro. We not ducking no smoke. We ain't afraid of nobody, right? Because we know we like that. That we know we really, bro. Like you look at our track record. Stop it, bro. Like we got a bowl. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, don't act like we got a Super Bowl, bro. So we don't act like we wasn't putting belt to ass on the whole NFL. Stop it, boy. Just because we lost to the Niners at home, right, in the wild card round, bro, that don't take away from what the Philadelphia Eagles are. Because guess what? They still here. So you guys could talk now, bro. We not going nowhere. We not going nowhere for like no time soon, bro. Like that's the thing. You still gonna have to deal with us, bro. Y'all still gonna have to deal with us. You know what I'm saying? You still gonna have to deal with us. Yes, we do have a lot of issues to fix. Yes, we do. Are we the same Super Bowl team that we were last year? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We got the same core pieces for now. It's as simple as fixing an offensive coordinator position. And I would much rather see Nick Sirianni say, you know what? I'm not hiring another offensive coordinator. Don't hide. Nick Sirianni be throwing rocks, bro, and then going to run behind the bush. That's what he do. That man will throw a brick. He'll throw a brick at oncoming traffic. That motherfucker land and hit a police car windshield, crack the windshield, police stop. This man gone hiding somewhere. That's Nick Sirianni, bro. Nick Sirianni would be with a group of friends, right? And they'll just be like, imagine like as a kid, right? This how I look at Nick Sirianni, bro. I'm gonna give y'all a vivid illustration of how I see Nick Sirianni in these situations. Nick Sirianni could be with his boys, right? They just walking down the street, right? Just being adolescents, being badass kids, right? Or whatever, being teenagers or whatever, right? Everybody could be, motherfucker could be throwing rocks in the street. Nick Sirianni have a brick, throw the brick, and the oncoming traffic hit a police car. The police car stop. And by the time the brick is in the air, Nick Sirianni already gone. Everybody get caught. Nick Sirianni nowhere to be found, bro. Let's say it's Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo, right? They just walking down the street, bro. Nick Sirianni just throw a brick, hit a car, oncoming traffic, dip off. Kevin Patullo get caught. Nick Sirianni the type of guy that'll do something and then snitch on his friends, bro. Hey, I really rock with Nick Sirianni though. I'm not saying fire him. You don't get rid of him. I want Nick Sirianni to just start calling plays, bro. Please, I beg you, Nick. Hey, look, this is what the Philadelphia Eagles gonna have to do. They're gonna say, Nick Sirianni, we've seen what's been going on these last 3 years. Okay, you hire these offensive coordinators, and they underachieve, and we end up firing them. And as a result of that, the chemistry's off with the team. AJ Brown's frustrated. Your star players are frustrated. We're underperforming, right? We losing at home in the first round of the playoffs. Bro, this is unacceptable when you got a team like this. At some point, Nick Sirianni gonna have to bite the bullet, bro. And that Super Bowl win, bro, you know that don't hold a lot of merit after a while, bro. It do with me, Nick. I rock with you. But you know how it is in Philly, bro. We fired Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches of all time. You don't think we'll get rid of you, Nick? People already want you fired. People already want Nick Sirianni gone, bro. Like, so at some point, Nick Sirianni is going to have to face the music, dog. He gonna have to face the music. Craig said he's not a leader of men. Niners took it to us. They did, bro. I'll give them that. Niners don't own us, bro. What are you talking about? 1-5, 12-5 would have won your division this year, which was the Niners record. Hey, look, man. Look. I feel bad for Kevin Patullo, bro. Honestly, because Nick Sirianni has a track record of doing this, bro. Of scapegoating, right, your offensive coordinator, bro. And I'm telling you, it's starting to look bad. Because what offensive coordinator gonna want to come here knowing Nick Sirianni is in the background trying to call plays, or you know what I'm saying, or knowing if I flame out and I don't have a good season, I could be fired. Like, bro, that's a lot of pressure to deal with, bro. But it's still intriguing because you got the talent, bro. But at some point, you look at this season and like, damn, even with the talent, they failed this bad. So it just makes coming to Philadelphia as a destination to be an offensive coordinator, it's starting not to look as enticing, bro. Then you got AJ Brown being a villain, bro, and I fuck with it. I'm sorry, but look, you got AJ Brown in his villain mode, right? You got all type. Come on, bro. Then you gotta understand you have to actually be good to figure out how to make Jalen Hurts successful, because Jalen Hurts is not your average quarterback. He's a different breed of a quarterback. So you have to be creative and understand how to utilize Jalen Hurts. And if you're not equipped with that ability to do so, it's gonna look bad, bro. You have to know what system. Now I know Jalen Hurts says he is the system, but bro, no, you gotta hit the system has to be tailored to Jalen Hurts' strengths. And if you're not equipped to do that as an offensive coordinator, you're not going to be successful with Philly, bro. It's gonna start with understanding how to make Jalen Hurts more comfortable, more precise, playing just based off instincts and not out there thinking and trying to figure too many things out. How to make it easy on your star players. And that's not something that's not something that can easily be done. What? Somebody said Jalen needs to go. What? You talking the Super Bowl MVP? The Super Bowl champion? The MVP runner up? The national champion winner? Come on, bro. Stop it. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. We ain't gonna do that. Listen. You talking the guy who beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl? Stop it, boy. We not gonna troll. We not gonna troll, bro. Put Jalen back in the RPO. I agree, Star Wars. Jalen puts the team on his back and the city. Facts, bro. Craig says he won't run. Because bro, Jalen, they man, you gotta put him in the right situation, bro, for that. If you're trying to make him just a drop back quarterback without utilizing all of his abilities, you're limiting your star player. He wasn't running because they didn't want him to. They're trying to make him a one read quarterback, a drop back, not even a drop back quarterback because he always in shotgun. So they trying to make him. They trying to fit. All right. So look, they got a system to where they want Jalen Hurts to run that system, but that system isn't conducive to how he plays. Right. So there's a problem. You turning this man into a one read. If it isn't there, scramble. Quarterback. He a one read quarterback. But the zone reads and that, bro, that shit is played out now. Teams understand what we're trying to do. We gotta add a little more creativity. We gotta add more creativity. We need a bright mind, bro, at the offensive coordinator position, dog. Like, look at this. Points per game, we're 19th. How? How? He is not that great of a passer, bro. He's one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. He's really accurate, bro, in a lot of different areas. I would like to see him get better throwing the ball down the middle of the field, right? But I mean, he's good enough. Bro, we've seen him. Come on, bro. He's one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL, okay? Let's not go there. But look, bro, you look at yards per game, 24th. We almost what? We at the bottom of the pack in yards per game with all of this talent. The biggest telltale sign, right, is what really ruined this offense. That third down conversions. They 24th, almost bottom of the barrel. They're in the bottom half. They're in the bottom portion in the league when it comes to third down conversion. If you're not converting on third downs, you're not sustaining drives. If you're not sustaining drives, you punting the ball away or kicking field goals and missing them, right? So if you're not converting on third down, you're not going to win many football. You're not going to be good, bro. Right now, they were number one in red zone scoring, but the thing is, they couldn't. I mean, you can't get there as much if you're not converting third downs. So I mean, come on, bro. Like that just shows, like, and even right, you got to be in a position to for the Philadelphia Eagles with the tush push and everything like that. You got to be in those third and twos, third and manageables, right? Third and ones, like third and one, third and two, third and three, like that. Now the playbook opens up more, right? But if you getting stopped early, see, teams figured out a way to stop the Philadelphia Eagles. You do not let them get in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and manageables, right? Because it'll be easier for them to convert. So when they were stalling on 1st and 2nd down, now it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. It makes it much more easier for the defense because now they don't have to worry about the tush push. They don't have to worry about the playbook opening up. Because in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and manageables, there's so many different things you can do, and you still got the tush push in your back pocket, bro. The quarterback sneak in your back pocket, right? So you're able to do so much more. But when you in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, like I said, it takes a lot of pressure off the defense, and that was a big problem. The Eagles couldn't sustain drives. The run game wasn't as efficient as it should be. So they were that's why they were predictable. That's why they were extremely predictable. But you look at these numbers, bro. Come on, we talking about 24th in yards per game, 19th in points per game. How aren't the Eagles averaging 30 points a game, bro? These numbers are horrible. These numbers are horrible. But it goes to show the offensive coordinator. I heard the whole team forced to watch Big Dom. Hey, all right, bro, you tripping that 41 Joseph. It was all on the offensive coordinator, no scheme. Bro, I mean, man, the big part of it, a big part of it was the offensive coordinator. The man, and I can't even really just say him because I can't really just blame Kevin Patullo because we're watching the offense give up. We watching the offense give up. We watching Devonta Smith drop passes. We watching AJ Brown drop passes. We looking at the team show no heart, no effort. So we watching the players like say, nah, this ain't working. We not buying in. So we're seeing that as well. So you can't just blame the head coach when the players like, yeah, bro. You can't blame just the offensive coordinator because the players are out there like not making some plays as well, bro. Nigga, Kevin Patullo ain't dropped 3 passes, ain't dropped 3 catches, right? Kevin Patullo ain't out there uh committing penalties and holdings, offensive holding and all that other stuff. He not out there doing that. Kevin Patullo not dropping footballs out there on the field. So you can't just say that it was the offensive coordinator when it's a team game, bro. Does he deserve most of the blame? Yes. Him and Nick Sirianni. Especially when you got veterans that know what it takes to win and know what should be done or calls that should be being called, the plays that should be being called, bro. And when it's not happening, it's like, bro, we know what it takes to win, and this ain't it. So again, bro, that team players kind of like they're like, oh man, not this again, bro. And they know it's not gonna work, bro. They caving. It's too demoralizing. Said we didn't fire him, the owner did, bro. Nick Sirianni fired him, bro. That's Nick Sirianni's call. Nick Sirianni hired him. Nick Sirianni had to be the one to fire him. Nick Sirianni had to do it. And you know why? That was part of Nick Sirianni's punishment. Firing his friend, bro. Firing his homie. So Nick Sirianni's in a situation like, all right, if this don't work out, I'm the one that hired him. I'm gonna have to be the one that fire him. That was Nick Sirianni's call, bro. That was Nick Sirianni's call. We need someone with experience. Facts, bro. That's facts, Tendy. Jesse says Tomlin. Now, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about a guy with that pedigree. I don't think. And Tomlin, Tomlin is a defensive guy. So he wouldn't even fit as an offensive coordinator, right? Like certain guys, it's not happening, bro. I don't know who we're going to hire at offensive coordinator, honestly, right? Uh, they can't hire somebody else from our coaching tree because there's nobody who's qualified to do that again for another year in a row. I don't think that's happening. I don't even know if Mike Tomlin's gonna be fired. Y'all talk about John Harbaugh. He's gonna be a head coach somewhere. Mike McDaniel, I pray to God we get Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins because he wants to be an offensive coordinator. He was just a former head coach. Now, some of these there are some guys like some head coaches that were fired and then they'll just get a offensive coordinator role or a defensive coordinator role and then do good and then use that to be qualified as a head coaching candidate. So I mean, certain guys that were head coaches, they would accept a lesser role on another team given the opportunity that they'll be successful and you know rebuild their leverage and hopefully have a shot at a head coaching position again. I mean, Robert Saleh is doing it, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. He was a head coach the year before, got fired, went to the 49ers, is doing outstanding with that defense, and then now he's going to be in position for a head coaching job. So when we talk about candidates, some guys that they don't want to be coordinators. They want to be head coaches. The guys you guys are mentioning right now, they want to be head coaches. Gruden is going to want to be a head coach. Yeah, and even if guys like that, bro, bro, it's going to be a head coaching position, right? And like I said, bro, I don't know who is it? It's Mike McDaniel, and that's it. And he already had an interview. He had an interview today with the Detroit Lions. So I mean, bro, I don't know how we're gonna replace. I don't know what the only option. I pray to God, bro, if there's somebody from the Philadelphia Eagles staff, if there's somebody, bro, that watches my channel or watch my live streams, I hope they hear this, bro. I need other content creators to start talking about this as well, bro. We need Nick Sirianni to start calling plays because if you do that, right, he's the head coach and he's the offensive coordinator. If he fails, we know it's his fault. Get him out of here. Simple as that. But if Nick Sirianni takes on that role, now we don't have to fill that gap. And I think Nick Sirianni, I believe Nick Sirianni will be a great offensive coordinator. He did that. He sucked. He never did that. He may have helped and he may have, had his role in it by game planning and I know he called plays at times, but it's different when there's no pressure, right? He did it in the background in disguise with his offensive coordinators. The offensive coordinators had that title. The offensive coordinators were calling the bulk of the plays. See, the difference is, bro, Nick, we will all know Nick Sirianni is calling the plays. He would not be hiding. He would not be hiding anymore. So his name will be on it. The pressure will be on him. Let's see what you got, Nick. Bro, that is, I promise you. And I think the players will respect that more. I think Nick Sirianni he could be ready. Maybe Nick Sirianni was just preparing himself until he was ready to call plays. I mean, he know his players. I think he would at this point, I really think he would be a great offensive coordinator. If not, at least At least give it a shot, Nick. And if it don't work out, he might get fired. That's why he hasn't taken on that role. Like that's why he hasn't officially came out and said, "Okay, I am going to call plays this year." But think about it. He's kind of like a player's coach. He's always fired up and right, and he kind of resonates with the team. He's already won a Super Bowl, so there's nothing really stopping him from saying, "Hey, I'm going to call plays." Again, it'll help the team out because now we don't have to find an offensive coordinator because our head coach is the coordinator. Look at the head coach from the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan. He's their head coach and he's the offensive coordinator, right? Look at Sean McVay. Sean McVay is the head coach and he's the offensive coordinator. He calls the plays, right? There'll be no confusion. There'll be no there'll be no confusion as to okay, who's calling the plays. We'll know who's doing it. Nick Sirianni would step into that role and fill a huge void. But is he prepared to do so? I don't know. I don't know, man. I would rather like to see it. I would like to see it. We need a legit OC. I agree, bro. I agree. I agree. I really do. But I would like for Nick Sirianni, because Nick Sirianni is like he's been hiding from it, bro, from that responsibility. Bro, just do it. I think he's ready now. Honestly, if they say, bro, y'all don't understand how happy I would be, bro, because now we'll get to see, and if he's successful, bro, it fixes all of this. It fixes all of this. It fixes this whole entire offensive coordinator controversy. Look, Edwin says I could not be more wrong. Look, bro, I understand. I understand, bro. I get it. Trust me. I get it, bro. I understand why this isn't a popular take because Nick Sirianni, we know he most likely would not be based off what we've seen, right? We know he would probably wouldn't be a good offensive coordinator, but we really don't know. That's the thing, bro. We honestly don't know because he hasn't put his name on it. He hasn't said, you know what? I am going to call plays for an entire year. It's going to be me. We haven't seen him do that for an entire year. So nobody really knows if he'll be good or not. He might not even know. Don't you think if he could have, he would have? He's tried. He's tried. I don't, man, look, bro. I just would like for him to really, bro, even if it was this year, right? I think, bro, at some point, man, I don't know. How else do we fix this, bro? Help me figure this shit out. What do we do, bro? I'm trying to come up with solutions. We don't have any options at offensive coordinator. Who else is gonna be? Who else is gonna be, bro? Everybody y'all naming is not it. Yo, appreciate the sub, bro. M. Hockley, I appreciate you, bro. Okay, since you guys saying it's not gonna be Nick Sirianni, right? Who else then? Don't start saying fucking Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh, bro. Like, come on, man. Y'all talking about motherfuckers like Pete Carroll. Like, come on, bro. Stop. Stop, bro. Motherfucker said John Gruden. Y'all talking about John Gruden, so don't act like what I'm saying is so far fetched. Y'all talking about bringing in John Gruden. Come on, bro. I said, hey, let's have Nick Sirianni call the plays, and if it fails, get him out of here. Right? If he fails, get him out of here. But like, bro, what else? What other? Who else? Oh, okay. What? Give me some candidates. Andy Reid. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about bring in Andy Reid. McDaniel's. That's it. That's our only shot. And honestly, I think he's going to Detroit, bro. I think he's going to Detroit. So okay, let's say okay, we got Mike McDaniels. That's it. Todd Monken. Todd Monken. Damn, that name sounds familiar, bro. But I can't even say. 9 times out of 10, bro, if I'm not familiar with his name, bro, no. Right? But see, that's the options. Niggas we talking about for name Todd Monken. Look, he said, "Yeah, brother can hope, bro. Come on, bro. Like, what do we do? Like, come on, man. Y'all can't make. I mean, y'all can't make me sound like I'm. What other options do we have? Y'all talking about John Gruden, bro? Mike Tomlin, man. I don't even. Mike Tomlin ain't even been fired. And if Mike Tomlin, bro, if he gets fired, somebody's gonna pick him up like that in a heartbeat, and he's gonna be a head coach. And even if he did, he wouldn't be an offensive coordinator because he's a defensive guy. Make it make sense. You said Brian Dawkins would be good because he worked with Jalen Hurts. Bro, niggas talking about Brian Dawkins as the offensive coordinator. Y'all trolling, bro. Frank Wright? Okay. Okay. That's better than all these other options. Frank Wright. That's better than all the other options, bro. Thank you, Paul. Paul, thank you, bro. Damn. We were struggling. And this bitch talking about Brian Dawkins, bro. Motherfucking Mike Tomlin, bro. They said Mike Tomlin, bro, as an offensive coordinator. You see what I mean, bro? I'm talking, yeah, I'm in this bitch talking about bringing Nick Sirianni call plays. You see how bad this is, bro? We gotta figure something out, dog. What the, bro? Now that's a whole nother topic. Who do we even have to fill this role? Damn, that's a whole nother topic, bro. Oh, bro, we might be in trouble next year. Damn, imagine our demise being the fact that we can't find an offensive coordinator. That's fucking crazy. I may subscribe, bro. Whatever. If you do, you do. If you don't, man, we ain't stressing that. We ain't stressing numbers, bro. That's never been anything to. Yeah, I don't care, bro. If you subscribe, unsubscribe, man, I don't be caring about none of that shit, bro. Honestly. But shit, if you sub, bro, you know what I mean? I appreciate that, bro, for sure. I really appreciate that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know? Subscribers are hard to come by, you know? When if you know, subscribers be hard to come by for some, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't care about I've never cared about subscribe. Well, I mean I care about my subscribers, but I never cared about like the number, bro. Like that shit don't matter, bro. 100K will look nice, but I mean, shit, we don't trip over stuff like that, bro. But if you sub, bro, I appreciate you, gang. You know, I fuck with you. But if you don't, I ain't really tripping on that. But we got bigger fish to fry. The ball, see, bro, how bad it is, bro. The solutions that y'all, Brian DeBall, fuck no. I mean, he did know Jalen. Okay, bro, I ain't gonna shit on all of these names that y'all. I ain't gonna shit on all of the options, bro. The ball, nah, bro. If you failed that bad as a head coach, I mean, bro, yeah, maybe the ball. Seth Joyner. You see, yo, David, what you want? All right, now I see y'all trolling. That's the thing, bro. Give me some names, bro. Okay, those keep throwing the names out. Big Dom. Yo, I wouldn't be mad at that, bro. He said big. Hey, yeah, of course. That's what. Yeah, we fuck with Big Dom. I'm gonna need a Big Dom edit, bro. He's long overdue for an edit, bro. Fuck it, bro. We should hire Big Dom as our offensive coordinator. Yo, I can't even say that with a straight face. Gilly. Okay, nah. All right, okay, look, nah, y'all trolling. Look, bro. See, that's how bad it is. So, bro, say I couldn't be more wrong with saying hire Nick Sirianni as the offensive coordinator. But, bro, we have no other options. In all seriousness, bro, all jokes aside, okay. Frank Reich, okay, solid. Solid. That's like a C plus, bro. Frank is like a C plus. Let's grade these. Let's grade the prospects. Okay, Frank Reich C plus. Pete Carroll F. That nigga like 90, bro. Stop. Pete Carroll F minus, bro. Stop, bro. Uh, Mike Tomlin. In all likelihood, bro, why would he ever be an offensive coordinator? F. Fucking F, bro. Uh uh Brian DeBall, okay, was horrible with the Giants. Um, as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, he has ties. No, he knows Jalen Hurts. I mean, bro, C plus, I guess, bro. Uh, who else y'all say? Jason Kelsey. Who else y'all say? They talking about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, a fucking F minus, bro. F minus minus. Okay, Stefanski from the guy who's the head coach from the Cleveland Browns. C plus, bro. These are all C pluses, bro. Shane Steichen. Hey, that might be like a B. A solid B. Shane Steichen. Right? He was with Jalen Hurts when Jalen Hurts had his MVP year. It's some familiarity with that. Okay. Shane, I'll give him a B. Who else? Uh who else y'all say? Sal Patonio. F minus, bro. Tom Brady becomes a head coach. I don't know about that, bro. Yeah, with the RPO. Yeah, bro. So I would say Shane Steichen. That Shane Steichen at B, Frank Reich C plus, Brian DeBall C plus. I mean that's it. But even then, bro, look, that's those names aren't encouraging at all. Those names are not in. The Eagles gonna have to pull out off a miracle. They'll have to pull off something crazy, bro. It got to be something like that. We don't, a coordinator that maybe from not even I can't even say from college, bro. We need somebody proven, but again, it's not looking too good, right? And that's the thing, bro. The prospects have not been looking good. That's why we ended up with Kevin Patullo. The prospects just wasn't there. Where's the prospects? Where's the candidates, bro? The prospects ain't looking too good, bro. We got three and fours out here, twos and threes. It's not looking good, bro. If anything, bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. So the only, yeah, bro, it's not looking good, right? And that's the problem, bro. It has. We lucked up with Kellen Moore. We lucked up with Kellen Moore. Damn, bro. I admit, man, Kellen Moore, bro. Y'all don't understand how hurt when I found out we wasn't gonna retain Kellen Moore, bro. Man, I knew it was gonna be tough, man. If somehow I don't know how Kellen Moore is doing over there with the Saints, but damn, bro, I miss Kellen, bro. I miss Kellen. Man, bro. Pat Schumer, stop it. Bill Belichick, stop it. Bill Belichick is a defensive guy. Bill Belichick, he's gonna want to be a GM. Bill Belichick is gonna bring his own entire staff, bro. So Nick Sirianni gonna be gone. Everybody gonna be gone. If you talking about Bill Belichick, he's not gonna be the offensive coordinator. If you talk about somebody like Bill Belichick, bro, you gotta gut your whole coaching tree, get them out of there. Big name head coaches, bro. Like, nah, former head coaches that are only gonna want jobs as head coaches, bro. That's not happening, bro. Jay Gruden, Jay Gruden. Okay, that's John Gruden's son. Maybe I like Jay Gruden's coaching tree. Right? Hey, that might be something, bro. Now, if they going to pull out one of these veteran offensive coordinators like some of the guys that you guys have been mentioning, not a motherfucker like John Gruden, bro. Like not washed up head coaches, bro. I mean, like offensive coordinators that kind of been put to the back burner, right? I think that's the way we probably have to go. In a Shane Steichen, Frank Wright kind of a mold, bro. I think Brian Flores was a defensive guy. Rex Ryan was a defensive guy, bro. We're not gonna hire a defensive coordinator as our offensive coordinator, bro. We tried that shit with Juan Castillo. Remember him? Niggas made they made him the head coach, the defensive coordinator. They made the defensive line coach the I think like the damn head coach or something or some shit, bro. But yeah, bro, it can't be a huge gap between you know like you can't go from defensive coordinator to damn being an offensive coordinator, bro. That teams ain't gonna honor that, bro. Teams is not gonna that don't typically happen, bro. That doesn't happen at all. So my guess is, all right, we're gonna need somebody proven. We're gonna need a proven commodity, right? So we're gonna need like a we're gonna need like a cougar. Hey, we're gonna need a cougar, bro. We're gonna need like a veteran, bro, or bring like somebody like, all right, you see how we did with Vic Fangio, right? Old school coach. Now he has a great track record. He's been successful. King Kingsbury, I was saying Kingsbury. I think it's Kingsbury. I mean, yeah, he coached Jalen in college. That'll be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see they um who they interview, bro. But okay, I mean, if we going through the college rankings, man, somebody with some history with Jalen Hurts, okay, Kingsbury, that'll be for me probably a B plus, honestly. I don't know who that is, bro. I don't know who that name is. I bet Fangio helped with the choice. I mean, I don't know, bro. He may have some input, but yeah, bro, I don't know, bro. Some of these decisions be like general manager, owner, head coach type things, bro. Sometimes you don't even got what I'm saying? They might ask for the team's input and stuff like that, but I don't know, bro, about that, bro. We gotta be logical here too. Uh, like certain things, certain personnel, certain people can't even really, what I'm saying? Vic probably. I mean, who knows, bro? Because you Vic Fangio is an OG. So I mean, why wouldn't ask Vic, or how you feel about this guy, or what I'm saying? And then uh he's coached against all of these guys anyway, so his input in a lot of this stuff would be extremely valuable. And who knows, he might have a large say so on what goes on. Vic probably the one getting motherfuckers cooked, boy. Quiet as kept. Vic might be calling. Damn. What if Vic Fangio calling a lot of the shots? Because I mean, he is the OG, bro. He is one of the best defensive coordinators in NFL history, bro. So I would run all of my football decisions past Buddy, right? I would, I believe he was the one who got Chauncey gone. To be honest, nah, Star Wars. That was a good point, bro. Have any other OCs been fired this year? Bro, I'm not too sure, bro. I'll have to look into that, and once the hiring process happens, we'll go live and kind of look at some of the candidates that they interviewed, and I'll do a little bit more research on it, bro. But they better have. I mean, I hope. I don't know, but I just don't. Based off the names and even just brainstorming right now with you guys. I don't know who. I don't see it. I don't see anybody else. I don't see anybody else out there, bro. Can we say, hey guys, all right, look, everybody in here, right? Can we say that the options aren't looking too good for our offensive coordinator for us? Is that fair to say? Because really, the only guy right now is Mike McDaniel. Detroit Lions coordinator fired also. See, bro, when man, I don't know, bro. When you get fired, bro, like certain shit make your value go down, right? Now, when you get fired, if you get fired as an offensive coordinator, bro, ain't no way in hell. Like, nah, bro, you might as well pack it up, bro. Because good offensive coordinators, they're gonna have like people seeking their services, right? If you get fired, that's just showing that you wasn't good enough. You wasn't a good enough offensive coordinator, bro. So it's gonna be real difficult for teams to for you to find another job, bro, as an offensive coordinator if you were fired. Now, if you was fired as a head coach, you always can. Okay, I got fired. Boom. Being fired gonna drop you down a notch, bro. So if you was already a head coach, right? And all right, you get fired, boom, that's gonna drop your value a bit, right? So a head coach like Mike McDaniel, who got fired, he's been to the playoffs, he's had success in the league, right? So his value would drop like boom, right to maybe like an offensive coordinator, bro. You know what I'm saying? So bro, that's really the only shot. If we can get Mike McDaniels, I promise you we going back to the Super Bowl, bro. But again, I'm scared, bro, because he just interviewed with the Lions, so that's his first option. I don't think the Lions is gonna let that man out the building. Honestly, bro. I would be bro, if we get Mike McDaniels, bro. That's our only shot right now. And we talk about if we grading prospects, Mike McDaniels is a solid A, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That boy nice when it comes to the play calling, bro. Damn. And then like his whole personality, bro, all the players gonna love him, bro. He go fit, bro. Oh my God. Yo, that's who we need. That what? He said, what's up? What's up, fruitcake? Ban his ass. Send him to the loser lounge. Ban him. Fuck you talking about, boy? Ban him. McDaniels is interviewing everywhere. Yeah, bro. It ain't it ain't looking too good on that, bro. I already know, man. It ain't looking too good. But one can only hope. We gonna find Star Wars says we gonna find a hidden gem. Bro, I don't want to take that chance with a new prospect, bro. I don't want to take that chance with a new prospect right now, bro. I don't want to take that chance with this might be a hidden gem. Hell no, boy, it might not be nothing. We exactly. Bro said we need a head coach that will also be our play caller. That's exactly what we need. Cause you killed two birds with one stone, bro. That's why I was saying Nick Sirianni. And if I'm grading Nick Sirianni, he would probably be like a C plus, with the potential because he know the players, he know what they're good at, what they're not good at, what works and what don't. But even then, if he knew all of that, he would just already he would already became the offensive coordinator. I mean, he would already been calling plays. But see, there's a difference when everybody knows you calling plays and you bring that confidence and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it, right? That I feel like that catapults. I feel like that helps, right? Because you know if you fail, you're done. You know if you fail, you're done, right? So I think that added pressure can kind of be used for Nick Sirianni in a good way for Nick Sirianni. But bro, I just don't know, bro. I don't. So what happened to the Eagles? What happened to the Eagles? Shit, we lost, but right, my whole thing, right, with this firing, honestly, I think this firing kind of boils down to Nick Sirianni, bro. I think it boils down to our head coach not being able to fill a void that the team need, man. You know, I really do. I think if Nick Sirianni was able to fill that void as a head coach and an offensive coordinator, he fill that void as an offensive coordinator. Now we don't have to try finding one every year. Okay, or maybe he's tried, right, and it didn't work out. But man, just go ahead and give it a shot, Nick Sirianni. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. I cause Jason Kelsey as an offensive coordinator, I wouldn't mind that, but bro ain't trying to. He he enjoying retirement, bro. But man, once some more news come out on the off season, bro, I'm gonna try to do these lives more because I know y'all been asking for me to go live. And I'm gonna just start gradually trying to get more content out for you guys. Start getting some more content out for you guys. But I'm gonna keep an eye on this, bro, because whoever we hire as an offensive coordinator is gonna dictate if we win or lose, or if we win or lose a Super Bowl, bro. Because it's Super Bowl or bust for this team, and the only thing that's stopping them is an offensive coordinator. I would like to see Nick Sirianni try to do it. I would like to see Nick Sirianni say, "Hey, I'm gonna call the plays," and I think the team will rally around him. I think the team will, play a little bit harder for him. I think since he's been a head coach and he's won a Super Bowl, been to multiple Super Bowls. I feel like it'll be better, bro. If I just think it's a good idea, right? Despite the fact that he might not do a good of a job, but I would at least like to see him give it a shot. But I'm gonna keep an eye on this, right? You know how we end the stream. God bless those Philadelphia Eagles.